Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about the changing nature of India-Bhutan relations. Let us first of all understand what is the current affair that is related to the changing nature of India-Bhutan relations. Now, India has an enormous opportunity to transform from being Bhutan's largest developmental partner to its largest investor and business partner. That means India has got an enormous opportunity to change the nature of its involvement or the bilateral relations with Bhutan, which is a neighboring country to India. So now the role of India in Bhutan is developmental role. We will see what is the developmental role of India in Bhutan later in this lecture. So now the nature of bilateral relationship between both these countries, India and Bhutan, is that of a developmental role. Now there are increased opportunities that India can change the nature of relationship with Bhutan from that of a developmental partner to a large investor or a trade partner or a business partner. That means investment and trade related relations can be improved between both these countries, India and Bhutan. So this is the current affair, and based on this we will analyze what are the new opportunities available for India and how India can utilize the opportunities in order to enhance the bilateral relations between both these countries. Now before moving on, let me clarify what is a developmental role and what is the investment role. Developmental role is different from that of investment role. Development means providing financial assistance or financial aid, but investment role means investing in the country. That means partnering in the investment process or in the developmental process in the country. But developmental role is simply providing financial support or financial aid to the country. So the developmental role is different from that of an investor's role. Under developmental role, only financial assistance is provided, but under investment role, a larger partnership of both the countries will be involved. So the current affair says that India has got enormous opportunities in order to convert or change the nature of India-Bhutan relationship from that of a developmental assistance to that of investment and trade relations. So we will analyze this issue in detail in this lecture. Let us begin. Now let us see what are the present developmental relationship between India and Bhutan and how it is an indication of changing nature of relationship between both these countries. Now for that, let us understand two of the important developmental projects where India and Bhutan has partnered on. First one is Mangdechu hydroelectric project and second is the Sankosh reservoir project. Now first coming to the hydroelectric project. This hydroelectric project is a 720 megawatt run-of-river power plant which is built in the central Bhutan. And this is one among the 10 hydroelectric power projects planned by Bhutan in order to generate 10,000 megawatt of hydropower by the year 2020 with the help or the support of India. Now under the Mangdechu hydroelectric project, India and Japan will join hands in order to produce at least 10,000 megawatt of hydroelectric power by the year 2020. But what is the challenge or the shortcoming here? Both the countries, India as well as Bhutan, have faced certain issues in getting a favorable tariff for the project. So it was supposed to start from January 2019 and both the countries has not come up on a consensus on deciding the tariff rates on this project. Bhutanese and Indian negotiators have had already 7 rounds of negotiations or meetings regarding the tariff fixation, but they were not able to agree on a mutual tariff rate. Now this is the challenge, and now both the countries will have to come into a mutual consensus regarding the tariff rate of this project. Now the second one is regarding the Sankosh reservoir project. Bhutan also wants India to start the construction of the 2,560 megawatt Sankosh reservoir project and also the 2,640 megawatt Kuri-Gongri reservoir project along with India. So these two reservoir projects are also being planned by Bhutan to associate with Indian partnership. Now with regard to Bhutan, both these reservoir projects have been mentioned as priority projects by Bhutan. They are giving a higher priority to these two projects, reservoir projects, and also these two projects are the key economic priorities of the country, Bhutan. Now, what is the case with India with regard to this reservoir projects? The process from the Indian side is getting delayed because India has certain financial constraints or financial concerns for these projects. But these projects would be beneficial for India in the sense that these two mega projects will be a part of India's clean and reliable power supply to India, and it will also contribute to the renewable energy targets of the government. So in that sense, it is significant to India. Now coming to the two reservoir projects. So this is an example, or these projects show that Bhutan want to convert the relationship with India from that of a traditional donor to that of an investment and trade partner. Now traditionally or earlier, India was a donor to Bhutan. That means India had provided some financial aid or financial assistance to Bhutan. We have seen that in Mangdechu hydroelectric project. But when it comes to the Sankosh reservoir project and the Kurigongri reservoir project, the interest of Bhutan shows that it wants India to be a partner, an investment partner in these projects, and also a trade partner rather than a donor or a financial aid provider to Bhutan. So these projects provide an enormous opportunity for India in order to change the nature of relationship with Bhutan. So this opportunity has to be effectively utilized by India, and the nature of relations should change from a developmental partner to a investment and trade partner with Bhutan. Now, what are the reasons for this changing nature of relationship between both these countries? Why Bhutan is insisting on creating an investment or a trade relationship with India rather than getting financial aid from India? We have seen two examples. First one is regarding the hydropower projects. The second one is reservoirs. Now, in the first example, the hydropower project example, we have seen that the hydropower projects built with India will provide revenue for Bhutan government. But this will not help the government to generate any employment opportunities for the youth in the country. In Bhutan, it will not create any employment opportunities. And with regard to Bhutan, Bhutan has the highest proportion of youth to the total population in South Asia. So in the South Asian region, Bhutan is the country which has the highest proportion of youth population compared to the total population. So one priority of the government would definitely be to provide employment opportunities to this youth. So this hydropower project does not provide any employment opportunities to the youth, rather than it provides some kind of revenue for the Bhutan government. And also secondly, in the long run, the hydro projects will not be enough to bridge the ever widening trade gap or the current account deficit with India. So one major concern of Bhutanese government is to bridge or minimize the gap in the current account deficit with India. So in order to bring down the current account deficit, the trade relations between both these countries have to improve, because current account deficit is dependent on two factors. One is imports and the second one is exports. So if Bhutan wants to bridge the gap between exports and imports between India and Bhutan, it has to improve the trade relations. The hydropower project in the long run will not do anything to bridge the ever widening trade gap or the current account deficit with India. And thirdly, Bhutan has made a long-standing national objective of attaining economic self-sufficiency. So, it has set out its priority as attaining economic self-sufficiency. And in order to attain economic self-sufficiency, business activities or economic activities should improve in that economy. So, Bhutan is rather focusing on improving investment and trade relations with other countries in order to increase the economic activities in the country and thereby attain economic self-sufficiency. So this is one priority of Bhutanese government, and that is why it is preferring more of a investment or a trade partnership with other countries, especially with India. Now fourthly, Bhutan have also made its principal decision not to seek any more aid from India or from other countries as well. So Bhutan has decided to reduce its overall grant component. So the grant or the aid will come under developmental assistance. So we have seen that the changing nature of Indo-Bhutan relations suggests that from the developmental partner to an investment partner or a trade partner, that is what Bhutan is looking forward to on the bilateral relationship between India and Bhutan. So grants and aid will come under the developmental role. Now Bhutan has decided that it will not seek any more aid from India, and not only from India, Bhutan is also sharply reducing its overall grant component from other countries in the world also. Now let us see what is a recourse or what is a way forward, how India can make utilization of this opportunity that Bhutan has provided to India in order to improve the bilateral relation between both these countries on trade and investment fronts. So this development in Bhutan's decisions presents an enormous opportunity for India in order to graduate or escalate from being a largest developmental partner to Bhutan to a largest investor and business partner. So India was one among the largest developmental partner of Bhutan. It used to provide lots of aid, financial assistance, grants, etc. for the developmental activities in Bhutan. Now it is a golden opportunity for India to escalate or to graduate itself from being a developmental partner to a trade partner or an investment partner. And Bhutan is seeing India as a largest potential source of investment for its economic diversification programs. Bhutan has adopted a policy of economic self-sufficiency, and in the process of attaining economic self-sufficiency, Bhutan sees India as a significant partner. India can make enormous investments or business partnership in the country. And secondly, Bhutan oversees India as a large market. India with its huge population acts as a large market for Bhutan. So once Bhutan focuses on economic diversification, the trading activities will improve, the economic activities will improve. And as a result of this diversified trading or economic activities, there will be a lot of products and services that will come out of the Bhutanese economy. So India will serve as the largest market for this products and services which come out of Bhutan as a part of this diversification project. So Bhutan also oversees India as a market which will capture the goods and services produced in Bhutan and thereby improve the trading relations with the country. So by improving the trading relationship with India, the Bhutanese government focuses on decreasing or narrowing the current account deficit with India. So it is clear that India is seen as a trading partner or a efficient trading partner for Bhutan. And third factor is regarding the central GST or the CGST. Bhutan is also seeking or demanding Indian government to give an exemption to Bhutanese goods and services from the central GST. This is because the central GST in India is affecting the export of Bhutanese goods and services to India, both in terms of price as well as in terms of the procedures at the border. So Bhutan is actually willing to pay the state GST, but they are demanding for an exemption from CGST or central GST. So if CGST will be exempted for Bhutan, this will improve the trading relations with India and Bhutan. This will ensure that Bhutanese goods will have a larger access to Indian market. So from this illustrations, it is clear that the relationship of India with Bhutan should go deeper than the hydroelectric power project or other developmental activities. So both the countries should engage in areas or dimensions of mutual interest and thereby build a deepening or deep bilateral relationship. Bhutan has always remained India's closest and most reliable friend. Now it is an opportunity for India to escalate itself or the relationship with Bhutan to higher levels, and India should make utilization of this opportunity at the best possible way. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and for any queries regarding your UPSC preparations, you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page or you can email me at joyce.studyiq@gmail.com. Thank you. I wish you all a very good day.